lighter note, when we were signing the partnership between ODM and UDA, I didn't see Wiper present. So I don't know why Senator Wambua is complaining. I don't know why Senator Wambua is complaining and Senator Sifuna signed religiously the partnership between UDA and ODM, and Wiper was not part of engagement. Mr. Speaker, on this issue of procedural matter, Mr. Speaker, I was just coming to the defense of Senate minority.
There is a point
leader.
of order, Senator Cherargei, against Senator Sifuna.
Madam Speaker, on accuracy and statement of fact, is the Senator Fonandi in order to allege that I have signed a pact between ODM and UDA? Can he be made to substantiate? Honorable Speaker, if the Senator Fonandi can produce any document signed by Edwin Sifuna on behalf of ODM with any political party called UDA, I will resign today as a Senator of Nairobi. Let him bring it here and substantiate what he's saying. I have never signed any agreement, and I don't intend to sign any agreement as Edwin Sifuna.
Senator
with
Cherargei,
the UDA party.
Can you substantiate your allegations or withdraw?
Madam Speaker, I didn't say he signed. His party leader signed, Raila Odinga.
Senator Cherargei, please.
Madam Speaker,
please
I withdraw.
Thank you.
And apologize, Madam Speaker, and also indicate that
Senator Cherargei, once you've withdrawn and apologize, proceed to make your point.
But they are shouting at me, Madam Speaker.
Order, other members. Can Senator Cherargei proceed?
Sifuna is sabotaging our partnership between ODM and UDA, and it should go on record as such. Madam Speaker, I want to support this procedural motion. I was disappointed, Madam Speaker, with the next selection panel. I expected very serious questions of integrity, but the selection panel of Iebc are underwhelming. They have been asking kindergarten and underwhelming and pedestrian questions, Madam Speaker. And I know you are an expert. You have sat in as director of elections, you have participated in electoral process, and you could see that the selection panel did not know what they were doing, Madam Speaker. And therefore, it is very unfortunate. Some of us are constrained because of constitutional timelines that is there, Madam Speaker, and we are looking at the greater good of the country. That is why we are supporting. But looking at the content that the selection panel was doing to vet and interview those interviews, it was just an exercise in futility. I have not seen serious engagement, Madam Speaker, even having people who have PhD. That is why I said in the morning or in the afternoon that we have so many brilliant fools in this country who masquerade, Madam Speaker, and do. But without such saying, because this country has to move, Madam Speaker, and in the spirit of bipartisan and broad-based, Madam Speaker, I want to appeal to Senator Wambua to support this process. Because at the end of the day, I saw his leader, with all tremendous respect, I'll not mention the name, I saw his leader, Madam Speaker, speaking about objecting the conclusion of process. Why is it that opponents of William Ruto are fearful to have Iebc in place? It is because they fear the election itself, Madam Speaker, and they must allow, Madam Speaker. Number two, Madam Speaker.
There's a point of order, Senator Cherargei. There is Senator Wambua.
Oh, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, understanding order 105 on matters of facts. First of all, Madam Speaker, I don't know how His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka finds his way.
Senator Wambua, what is the point of order?
The point of order, Madam Speaker, is I want the Senator of Nandi to substantiate that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, His Excellency, is afraid of the outcome of this process. Secondly, Madam Speaker, because you raised two issues, that, Madam Speaker, the Senator Fonandi alluded to a situation where some leaders in the opposition are afraid of one President William Samoei Ruto.
Senator Cherargei,
We want him to substantiate
can you
those statements.
please substantiate or withdraw and let this motion continue?
Madam
debate,
Speaker,
please.
the answer will bear me out because I didn't mention any name. I said his leader. Can the answer be produced, Madam Speaker, so that from there...
Senator Cherargei, in his final words, he actually said you
alluded.
yes, alluded to some.
So I alluded.
No, and that's why he wants you to substantiate which these opposition leaders are that are afraid.
Okay, I will bring the
Please.
names, Madam Speaker, I will bring the names on Tuesday of the opposition leaders who issue a presser objecting the IEBC selection panel, and ODM was not part of them.
Senator Cherargei, please withdraw or indicate which leader, yeah, because a presser...
Madam Speaker, I will bring the names of those opposition leaders next week.
Please
Tuesday.
note that and continue with the
Okay,
motion.
thank you. Madam Speaker, on the issue of review and delimitation of boundaries of the constituencies, we must fast track, Madam Speaker, so that we can put in place and ensure, like for example, in Nandi, I have the biggest ward called Kliboni. People would want to review, Madam Speaker. There are many others protected constituencies that needed to be relooked at because we have a number of protected constituencies that do not meet the criteria. Number two, Madam Speaker, there are so many by-elections, Magarini, Banisa, Baringo County, Malava. If Mheshimiwa Ruku succeeds, Madam Speaker, to be the CS, Madam Speaker, we will need better not by-election, Madam Speaker. So we need the IEBC to be in place to conduct by-elections. Finally, Madam Speaker, I was misquoted. I said instead of members of parliament resigning to be the cabinet secretaries, why don't we give them responsibility allowances and appoint them to cabinet so that we save the country the agony of by-election and paying double salary? Because you only need responsibility allowance, and I was misquoted, Madam Speaker. Secondly, the cost of a voter in 2022, Madam Speaker, was 2,500. The best practice is 600 shillings per voter. It means the conduct of election per voter is still very expensive in this country. And therefore, I don't see why Mheshimiwa Ruku is appointed to the cabinet. What we should do is just give him responsibility allowances, come to parliament, go back to the cabinet so that we save salaries, Madam Speaker. So I want to tell people who are misquoting me that they don't have such opportunity. With those many remarks, Madam Speaker, and my time was eaten by Senator Wambua, but he's a bishop. I support this procedural motion.
Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I must begin by registering very strong protest on behalf of the minority side as to the presence of this motion on the order paper this afternoon. When I saw this motion on the order paper, I called, and the records can show, I called the leader of majority, the Honorable Senator for Kericho, Aaron Cheriot. I was unable to reach him because we in this house have agreed that we will not transact business by ambush. It is not a surprise. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I am extremely disappointed that it is very contemptuous for you to introduce a motion in such a way, because it gives us a very difficult time in the leadership to guide our members as to how to treat this particular motion. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, I protest because I don't like being made to look like a fool. Yesterday, after resolutions passed by the Central Committee of ODM, I was reading a statement saying that ODM will not countenance any further delays in the selection process of the IEBC commissioners, only to be told today that there is a motion on the order paper to extend time for this panel to do its job. And what's worse, Honorable Speaker, when I reached out to my leadership in the National Assembly, our counterparts there, they forwarded to me a letter from this panel, signed by the chair of the panel himself. The first thing I noticed, this letter was dated the 20th of March. This is 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Honorable Speaker. This House has no idea. The second problem is that that letter is addressed only to the Speaker of the National Assembly, continuing this spate of contempt for the Senate, when they knew very well that this matter has to be processed through both houses of parliament. Honorable Speaker, it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable that we continue to be treated with such contempt. So when I go through the letter, I'm trying to find out what are the reasons. And it is clear that even the mover of this motion has no access to that request. And by the way, in that request, this panel is asking for 30 days, not 14 days. It is the National Assembly that set it at 14 days, and there is nothing that stops us as a House at setting that deadline at 4 days or 7 days or 2 days if we wanted to. And they are citing various reasons. By the way, I do not hold brief for this panel. And I have strongly objected to, I don't want to be distracted, Honorable Speaker. Strongly objected to this.
He does not want to be informed. Let him finish.
I strongly object to some of these insinuations that somehow ODM is the one running this panel. And if you read the newspapers today, you would think that there is a war between me and Senator Wambua. It is not going to happen. Me and Senator Wambua are never going to fight. But the truth of the matter is, we also do not want these incessant accusations against ODM. Honorable Speaker, if you hear the names of the constituencies by elections that are being mentioned, majority of them are held by ODM. ODM was holding Ugunja. We are holding Magarini. We have a nominee to cabinet. And there is a young man from Kajiado waiting to replace John Bad in the National Assembly. If anything, we are the ones who are suffering the greatest prejudice. Some of these political parties that you see making noise about ODM, and I have asked Senator Wambua to distance himself and his party from some of these non-entities making noise. And you know very well that they cannot field a candidate in Banisa. They are village political parties. I don't know what Senator Wambua you are doing with these characters. I want to dissuade you from hanging out with these people, because if you just moved a bit, you would allow me to deal with these people mundu kumundu. And they know me. And I don't want you to catch strays, as we say in the streets. Honorable Speaker, some of the reasons these people have given, they are saying that the time is too short because they shortlisted 116 people. I personally took time to watch one of those interviews. And I'm being vindicated because I said, these commissioners, the panelists, are talking too much. They like to listen to themselves. Instead of putting a question to a candidate and allowing them to talk, somebody is asking a windy, long question. And now I am being asked, after complaining that they are talking too much, they write to me to extend time so that we can listen to them more. We don't want to hear what you have to say. We want the candidates, the people who are coming to run elections, to speak so that we can know what they are all about. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to conclude and say, even if I'm inclined, even if I'm persuaded, please, the sort of contempt that is being extended to this Senate will not be allowed to go on any further. Mr. Makanda should have known that there are two houses of parliament. He is a PhD holder, for heaven's sake. He should have written to our speaker and written to the Speaker of the National Assembly on the 20th, and we would have had time to debate this motion and give him what he wants. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would want to really support the motion which is in the floor of the House. Being a procedural motion, I would also want to just speak about the procedure, where I feel Honorable Senator has felt like it was an oversight to this House. The letter that was written to the Speaker of the National Assembly was written in the capacity of the chair of the commission, where it was supposed to be brought to the commission, that is the committee, or one of the committees in the commission. And then after the committee has deliberated on it, is when now it was written to the two houses. And that is why it came to this House.
There is a point of order.
Yeah,
Senator
Honorable
Korir.
Speaker.
Just sit, there is a point of order.
Okay.
Senator Mandago, you want to?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'd like, under statement of facts, I don't understand how the commission is supposed to decide on what is going to be discussed in Parliament. If the commission was to approve, then the Speaker of the National Assembly, Senator Wetangula, should just write that letter and extend.
Senator Korir, where did you get the idea that the letter was written to the commission? No.
Give me my mic. Yeah, thank you, Chair. I'm talking about the procedure, where, Honorable Speaker, the letters was made after deliberation in the commission that the two houses can now take their time and decide. It was not final that the commission decided that let's give them the 14 days. The two houses can still decide that there is no more extension of time. But having been brought to this House, it's upon this House to either extend the 14 days or reduce even to 5 days, or
Senator Korir,
deny.
the objection is to your assertion that the letter was written to the commission and not to Parliament? If you're
Chair?
not clear, you want to withdraw that reference.
I won't withdraw, Chair, because that was the letter, unless I see the content of the letter, but I know the letter was not written to him as a speaker, but as the chair of the commission.
Wait, there is a point of order. Senator Sifuna, please.
Please, Honorable Speaker, do not allow Commissioner Korir to mislead this House. If the law says that Parliament may extend time, you write to Parliament. Wetangula is not Parliament. Wetangula is not Parliament. I certainly don't recognize him as Parliament. He might be the chair of the PSC. He's the Speaker of the National Assembly. We have our own Speaker. If indeed, as she alleges, that was the procedure, as Senator Mandago has rightly pointed out, all Wetangula needed to do when he received the letter is to write back and tell them the PSC has said have 30 days. Why is this matter here? If she insists on that line, then we as a House should send this motion back to Speaker Wetangula, let him determine it accordance with those powers that Senator Korir says he has under the Parliamentary Service Commission.
Senator Korir, let me guide you. No, there is no point of order on another point of order. She has just explained, please. Senator, can I first deal with the point of order that has just been explained by Senator? No, that is not the procedure, and you know that. Can we deal with the first, Senator Korir? Have you seen the letter that was written? You may well be advised to withdraw your reference to the commission. No, if you've not seen the letter, the more reason why you must withdraw. I'm guiding you. Senator Munyo, Senator Kenyan?
Madam Chair, I stand.
Meantime, can the clerks please prepare to read the letter in terms of who it was written to?
Madam Chair, I want to support
Bring it to me.
The Vice Chair of the Commission. The truth of the matter is the letter can be written to the Chairman of the Commission, because many letters that are written here, Madam Chair, to this House, they're normally written to the clerk. If it's the clerk of National Assembly, if it's the clerk to the National Assembly. But on this one, Madam Chair, I know we are the one, then when I was the commissioner, we interviewed some of the commissioners seated there. And in fact, it is the commission that pays for the sitting allowance, Madam Speaker. So I am sure as I speak, unless it has changed, and it must have changed yesterday, that the letter must have been written to the chairman of the commission as the chairman of the commission, not as the Speaker of National Assembly. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senators, honorable senators, I have requested the clerk to actually get a copy of the letter. Where is the mover? I think the letter should have been attached to the motion. You can help the House. Are you able to help the House? Do you have it? Please.
Madam Speaker, because Commissioner Korir has not seen this letter, and it raises even more questions.
Senator Korir, please listen. Please.
It raises more questions than answers, because I'm not a member of the commission. She is a member of the commission. In fact, she's seconded to that commission by this House. You are supposed to be the one to see these letters before we as members do. I have circulated the copy of the letter on the official Senate WhatsApp group so that everybody can be able to see it. But Madam Speaker, we are not discussing who pays the panel or who provides secretarial services for this panel. We are asking ourselves, which institution under the law has powers to extend time? And in my view, if the answer is that it is Parliament, then that request must be to Parliament. And we run a bicameral House, which requires that you recognize the leadership of both houses. The Speaker of this House is not aware. In fact, it's our Speaker asking for a copy of the letter. You as a senator should be ashamed that your own leadership in this House has not seen that letter. If you are going to defend this institution, You must stop this practice where people imagine that if you write to the National Assembly, you have written to Parliament. That is not the correct position of the law. And we must defend this institution.
Senator Sifuna, do you want to make reference to the letter? Can you please just, Senator Sifuna, you, let him read there. I want him to read actually who is the letter addressed to Senator
Just
Sifuna.
1 minute, Honorable Speaker, because the shouting is interfering with the network on my phone. But this is the letter. I have shared it on the official Senate business group. If you don't have a network, it's because Senator Kinyo is shouting. Honorable Speaker, the reference of that letter is SP/IEBC/CORR/2025/236 from the selection panel for the recruitment of nominees for appointment as chairperson and member of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. It is dated the 20th of March, 2025. It is addressed to the Right Honorable Dr. Moses F.M. Wetangula, EGH MP, Speaker of the National Assembly and Chairperson, Parliamentary Service Commission. Now, Honorable Speaker.
I think that's enough. Senator Sifuna, I think
I feel like there's more education to pass.
No, it's
Thank you,
okay.
Honorable Speaker.
That information is what we are looking for. Senator Korir, can you proceed to the extent? No, it was a point of order where she was guiding the House that the letter should have gone through the Commission and the Commission to guide the House. Senator Korir, as you can see from that letter, it was written to Speaker and Chairperson of the Commission. So the letter is before the House as directed to the Speaker. Do you want to proceed?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, that was the clarity that we wanted as a House. And I also want to thank the Honorable Member because he's very thorough when it comes to the procedures. And it's clear that the letter also was copied to the Senate. So, and the reason why I'm raising this, Madam Speaker, is because
Honorable Senators, please. It is. What is your point of order?
No, I don't want.
Cherargei?
Is it information or order?
What is your point of order?
Madam Speaker, I raise under point of order under Article 127 on powers of Parliamentary Service Commission. One of the functions of Parliamentary Service Commission.
Can you? That cannot be a point of order.
No, it is
That you are trying to explain powers of the
No, I'm not explaining,
Order,
but I'm
Senator
talking
Cherargei.
about the correspondence.
So what is your
there.
point of order?
Madam Speaker, it cannot be that Parliamentary Service Commission, the chairperson, Speaker Moses Masika Wetangula, Madam Speaker,
Senator
cannot
Cherargei.
be the correspondent of Parliament as inflicted
Senate-
under Article 93.
Senator
We must teach
Cherargei,
him,
order,
Madam
Senator
Speaker.
Cherargei,
This is
sit
free
down.
education.
Order,
Yes.
Senator Cherargei. You are abusing that space to actually make a point you want to make. Senator Korir, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think, Honorable Speaker,
Senator Mandago.
Honorable Speaker, I think they are just wasting my time.
Yes,
It's just a procedure.
Please
And they
save.
have been read, the letter has been read by
Senator
Honorable.
Korir, just let him be. Senator, please save Senator Korir's time.
First,
Senator
the
Cherargei, you listen in
point
silence.
of order
please.
is understanding order 105, statement of facts. The letter was copied to the clerk, not the speaker. Number two, we don't waste time in this house, we debate. There's a difference between being written a letter and being copied just for information.
Senator Mandago, I overrule. She said the letter was copied to the Senate. To the clerk of the Senate actually represents the Senate. Yeah? Senator Kinyua.
Madam Speaker, in this Senate, and I want to repeat again, and I had said before, Speaker don't receive letters. Letters are sent to the clerk. And in fact, from what he has said, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, protect me from Protect me
Order,
from
Senator
hecklers.
Cherargei, please.
Protect me
I have
from
not
these
given you
hecklers.
time to read. Senator Sifuna, I have not given you time. Please, let's listen to one person at a time. Senator Kenyan.
Madam Speaker, the reason I'm saying this is because if you look at this letter, because now I can see the content, it was written to the commission, chairman of the commission, and that's why you're seeing the clerk of the Senate is written here very clearly, clerk of the Senate and secretary to the commission, because it followed very well. The person who was being written this letter is the chairman of the commission and being copied to the secretary of the commission. And there's no time, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kenyan, you are wrong on that. It says speaker and chair. Let's not argue on that. Let's, honorable senators, I'd like to call upon all of you to actually allow Senator Korir to finish her argument on this issue. Senator Cherargei,
Thank you
please.
very much, Madam Speaker. Mine is just to request the honorable colleagues that we need to agree. This is a very, I can't apologize, my friend. This is a very important commission that we want to have because of a number of bendigals that need to be done. Remember, we've not done register verification. We've not done a number of things that are waiting us. So, and that is one of the roles that we have to play as a house. So I want to request you, I want to plead with you that let's give them this time. It was within your hands to either reduce the number of days or even to reject. But where we are, I will plead with you, led by our able senator from Nairobi, that we give them time so that they can conclude this work and be able to take this country to the next height. Otherwise, thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I would want to request that is fairly the procedure and less kindly
Senator
approve
Cherargei,
this
you're
motion.
being
Thank you.
disruptive. You're being very disruptive. Senator Omtata. Senator Cherargei, we will listen to those contributing in silence, please.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to oppose this motion. Because when listening to what has been going on, I've just wondered what the powers of the Parliamentary Service Commission are. When did they become a medium for introducing debate in this House? As far as I'm concerned, there's no request to Parliament to extend time. Number two, this House is presided over by the Speaker. The other House is presided over by the Speaker. The two houses form Parliament. And I agree with those who have said that where Parliament is supposed to be asked to do anything, the two speakers have to be addressed. It's not correct that the clerk is addressed on behalf of the speaker. There are letters which go to the clerk, which are merely for administrative work or for petitions. But to request a special favor from Parliament, you have to move the speakers. So as far as we're concerned, we have not been moved to grant any extension of time. Madam Speaker, I've looked through the motion, and I'm just seeing a recitation of nothing. There's a lot of words here, but they say nothing. Not a single reason has been given as to why we should extend the time of the Iebc. All I can see written down here are things like noting that, further noting that, conscious of, further conscious, now therefore. There's no reason given why they want to extend time. There's no reason why they want to extend time. Number two, if I've seen the letter that was written to the Honorable Tangula, it expressly asks for 30 days. Can we debate in the absence of these people requested for 30 days and reduce that to 14 days as the National Assembly has done? Would it be proper for them to justify why they needed 30 days and not 31 days? I think we should approach this thing with the seriousness it deserves. If really, first of all, the law allows this House to extend time, which means there was a recognition that there would come an occasion when time would have to be extended. But the person seeking to extend time, or the entity seeking to extend time, must give us reasons why they need the time extended. And our decision must be on merit. So in the absence of an application to this House, through our speaker, and in an believable decision by the National Assembly to assume that it knows that 14 days will be enough and not 30 days, without hearing the other party, and the failure for the other party to give any reasons why they want an extension of time, this being a House of Record, I would not be like to be associated with this kind of disregard for due process, disregard for the law, and disregard for detail. And so I oppose the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.